that's a lot of sun coming in here. Oh man. Hold on one second. I might have to fix that. You guys might not be able to see me. Well, that's not too bad, I suppose. Um, yeah. So you can see how it looks behind me. But good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Wasn't quite done talking earlier, but I did have to go to church, so very committed to that on the Sunday morning. I like to go into there, so. But I did want to continue this discussion here for a little bit, not too long. We'll see how active it is. I understand it's a Sunday morning or Sunday early afternoon now, so we'll see. We'll see if what kind of vibe or what kind of questions we have here this morning. Kind of thing. So, but welcome in Dan, Crypto Cooter, Crazy Pole, Mrs. Stott, MQ, Joseph, Furby, Nick, and Scotty Trades in there. Thank you all so much. Everybody in here is in Tom's Army. Well, John Bugathorpe also welcome in. I appreciate everybody's support. I do. Right now we're in a very, very trap-ass spot, and thus we can push out. I put the question on there. Did you check them out? Excellent. I love you. I posed the question in the live about the XRP descending triangle. What does that mean? And is XRP can it really go sub $1? And the simple answer to that is the descending triangle, if this plays out, it's not good. This is a bearish consolidation. And yes, you can look at it on different charts, but there's one chart in particularly that it really stands out, that it really could. Man, I gotta bounce this a little different because the light's like, holy smokes, off my face. It's an interesting spot to be in. So the best way I can tell you, well, let's do the intro just so if somebody's watching this from the outside, they know what's going on. And make sure to hit that like button if you're watching. It would help push this through the algorithm. I really, really would appreciate it. So good afternoon. In this is going to be an XRP, even a market-wide discussion. But starting initially with XRP, we're going to talk about this emergence of this descending triangle that we got validation with the resistance at $2.40 helping to create this. The flat supports around $1.56 to $1.59 area. It depends which chart you look at. And that just means that we've exhausted ourselves. But if the crazy thing is like when you look at the Elliott wave and you look at XRP's chart, it does point. You're talking about 57 to 67. There's a lot of things. But a lot of things have put in new lower lows. But anyhow, this is going to be an active discussion. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll just try to have an active discussion. So it is, for point of reference, Sunday, January 11th, 2026 at 1:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're new, I'm XRP Future Millionaire. And I reside in the great state of Michigan. And the best way to put it in Michigan is every second changes. Today it's weird outside. It comes across worse than it is, but it is pretty weird outside today. So some said they got shaken out of XLM because of the lower lows. I mean, I don't blame you. What we have set up right now, if you're not in, or if you've made profits and you've secured and you're trying to just wait it out for liquidity, I don't blame you. I wouldn't be doing nothing right now. I would feel safer. Like I've said, I've got money, a lot of money to the sidelines right now after this recent movement. And, I'm not a financial advisor, but my best instinct says don't do anything stupid here and just, let it happen now. You can see what's setting up, and if it wants to break to the other side, there's no harm in buying in after. And we're going to get volatile spikes up here if we're trying to trap. So that's the biggest thing that I see the problem now. One thing that I haven't even looked at in a couple days is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. So let me look at that real quick. And one other thing is, when you're looking at this, we're looking for volatility. We're looking for, if we don't want this to fall, where are we going to get the markets? Where are we going to get the markets to get that kind of liquidity from? And normally we'll pull it from like the risk off, and we'll take mining stocks and all that stuff. Unfortunately, right now, it's going the opposite way. Those sections are pulling. Ooh, look, the sun. Oh, I love it. Thank you, MQT. The sun balloon. I love it. If you guys do super chats or anything in this live, try to do the live gifts. They're fun. I like seeing them. Not saying I won't appreciate a super chat, but it's more inclusive like this. Thank you so much, MQ, for the sun. It says that was 283. Wow. Thank you very much for that. What a vote of confidence this morning. MQ does a fantastic job. Very trusted mod in here in the Telegram. Along with Crypto Cooter, Nick, Furby Trades. All doing very, very well. They help out a lot. Fear and Greed. Let's see. I wanted to see what it is right now. Unless somebody can just tell me. The next update's in 5 hours and 55 minutes. Let's see. 29 right now. Is that right? Does that sound right? I was hoping for a little bit lower because that 29, that shows that people are being a little too greedy right now. And see, that's where it gets you stomped up here. Now it's showing a little bit like people are being a little bit too greedy here at this point. Is it really like that? Wow. MQ, sunny days? Yes, indeed, sunny days. So MQ, Nick, what are you seeing right now? What do you think the odds that we play down here? Because it looks like we're set up in the short term, it looks like a bear flag like somebody's mentioned. I see the head and shoulders as well. It's, oh, you can't see anything to be able to send me? I'm not surprised. Mrs. Stott, that happens a lot. But you're already in Tom's arm for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, and I appreciate it. It's so exciting that my stuff got approved for classes on here. I'm very excited. So I think there's 3 people so far. So at the very least in the first session, I'll have 3 people in there. But I'll talk more about it in the Telegram too. FYI. But the descending triangle, I mean, that push up to $2.40 over the last week is not good. Especially the rejection. That was a firm rejection. And unless we can stay above $2.10 with all these things coupled, we have a head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder that's built and traditionally on these bear flags right here. With the bear flag that formed on crypto, or at least on XRP, I mean, this is the micro to the micro to the macro micro. Everything looks worse the more you look at it. But I don't know. We could, who knows? We're looking at it today like maybe it could come up to $2.14 and invalidate some of this movement. But then when you look at it, like going across the board, I see even in Ethereum, depending on what it does here in the next hour, this could have been a trap. That could have been the trap in the late morning when it went up to $3,146 when I was at church. And now in the short time, if the 45-minute loses $3,116, that's a trap candle. On a wider, very bearish setup. That's a big head and shoulders for me. And, you know, a lot of times you come into this consolidation on the right shoulder, and that's just the accumulation, and then it ends up building into this holy smokes moment. And when these things happen, it happens very quickly. And as much as I want it to go up, I'm seeing the red flags here everywhere. And it's a bear market, so... You know, every time you come into a situation where it could go up and it could go down, it's going to go down because it's in a bear market. If it was in a bull market, every time you come to that scenario after a consolidation, all of a sudden, then you end up going to the upside. So, yes, the gravestone I was talking about with Nick, and the live earlier before church, I talked about, I don't want to say it, but there's a gravestone doji forming, and now it looks even worse. So, you know. The one good thing is, though, by doing it like this, these lives, people are like, Tom, I heard you talk about working out and stuff, but I didn't realize you were actually blah, blah, blah. And like when you flex in this, we can actually see the work you're doing. And I agree. I agree. So, we just got to stay strong with the market. Just got to stay strong with the market. That's no steroids either. That's just the daily 3.5 year grind. Somebody in the comments earlier said you should flex in your vertical. So I'm going to flex for you. I don't remember who it was. The comments are in my way. I can't see when there's comments. So we'll flex on the market at least. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of work. A lot of work. I do it. And with the fasting 16 hours a day, so I'm hangry right now. I made my protein, but I didn't drink it. I always wear something so I don't see it myself. So then sometimes I'll be about to take a shower in the morning. I'm like, I think I got like a growth or something on me. And I'll be like, holy shit. My mom, when she came over yesterday, I'm like, Mom, look, and I flexed, or 2 days ago, and she's like, I can't believe your muscle could be that big. Like, what are you saying, Mom? Huh? I said, no. Anyhow, I'm flexing for you, Josh, not on you. No, I'm kidding. Anyhow, let's get back to business. So that descending triangle, the bottom line is if this actually plays out, and in a lot of cases we say, that's why I say, for our sake, if we don't want to go down this path, we need to get above $2.10, and it needs to start pushing up in a weird fashion. Otherwise, we're going to get caught in this liquidity drop. And if Bitcoin at any time loses 90K, we're in a lot of trouble. I don't know, MQ. I don't know. Imagine how imagine how I feel. That's how I feel. Like I'm going through here and it didn't switch it for a long time, and then all of a sudden it switched. But the one thing that we still have to watch for is that liquidity on Bitcoin if it goes to 94. That's the only thing that can bail us out here in the short term. And a big sign of that would be, coming up there right now. But what most people are missing when they talk about that is we got a very brutal rejection after a fake out up on Bitcoin when we actually went to 94K on this actual movement, which is the biggest problem. Everybody's expecting that re-hit at 94, but we already went up there. Does everybody remember that's where we made the head? Unless this is going to be an M-topping reversal and still come down, which it could be. But I think a lot of people are setting themselves up for a trap if they just think it's going to go up to 94 because of that liquidity. We actually just came back down from almost 95. Yeah, a lot of people with the tariff news, absolutely. Creamy Goodness says, hello, sir. I'm so happy you're increasing the lives. Let's hope the Fed announces it's going to add crypto to its balance sheet as an asset. That would be very hopeful. But if they do that, you notice how we're going to be kind of acquiring by force or by, unilateral agreement, how we're starting to acquire other countries' assets, which is, let's face it, I don't want to get into politics. So, wouldn't it make more sense for the market to just drop here? Take the liquidity. Everybody, we know that these places are now forced to cover their calls with silver. Wouldn't it make sense for in the short term silver to go up, gold to go up, and bleed the risk on assets? Because that's where retail's parking their money. So if they want to hammer people the most, smart money knows they were already in metals. Smart money knows they were already in mining stocks, and they can see how they're going for an all-time breakout right now because a lot of these are breaking out of an ascending triangle. And you know how bullish those consolidations are on them. Oh, man. And now at the same time, we got these descending triangles and descending bear flags and just all this crap going on in crypto. It's almost like they forced us into a can't miss market in crypto, while the actual can't miss was sound money. All you had to do was think money over promise, money over. So our only hope here is that we're going to run up here in a quick fashion, and we're going to start to move up. It is our one saving grace right now. If we don't break down this, we just need to do it. You know, I keep saying what we have to do to avoid this, but it's time to be realistic too. Here's what happens if we can't avoid this, because every day we take longer, it's another day. It's another day. Let's remember that the final vote for China's real estate bond debt, for their real estate bond debt, what was that? Extension is the month. If the answer is no, China may have to sell silver and gold to cover the bonds. It's a nice way to look at it too. It's a nice way to look at it. That's why we're also looking to see if we get a capital rotation, but everything's speaking to the fact that we still have a little bit of a play down here in crypto and a little bit of a play up in metals. But I do believe at some point we're going to exhaust that, and we're going to have gone up so fast, so hard, that we're going to have no choice but to come back down. The super cycle, the only way that would have played out, and we laid down the layers for it. But unfortunately, you know, a super cycle is 1 in a million, and one could argue that XRP actually had a super cycle within a pretty flat cycle with the rest of crypto. The fact that XRP neared $4 when the rest of the altcoins didn't do dick, for the most part, you know, especially from where they were at in 2021. That's MQ. That's the part that scares me with risk assets. What's the first thing they assault when you have conflict of war increasing? The risk off. What's the first thing they pump up? They usually go into the metals markets. Like I just watched Algo, it was up like 2%. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to achieve here. And Algo already twice today. First, one time overnight, it went up to almost 14 cents. And that was on Friday in the Saturday morning. And then today, twice, it came up to 13.6. Just each candle after, it gave a bearish rejection. And it gave what looks like the allure of a double top in the 45-minute on this daily 45-minute candle within this daily movement on Sunday. So, I don't know. Even with these W reversals, you have the right side up much higher than the left side, which shows me that the bears are fucking with us a little bit here if this continues. We also have that head and shoulders. I'm just saying, there is no way that you want to be a trader in this moment. You just want to see what it does one way or another for confirmation. You can't be a trader here. Like, unless, I mean, like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not a financial advisor. But it's going to be very tough to be a buyer or a seller. I mean, a seller, I mean, you could probably justify. But then again, if you get a recall up to 94K, Lori, welcome in from Force, Missouri. I love that you're in here, love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Vado Damas in here in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge as well. Got a lot of people in here. I can't possibly go over everybody, but at least on the bottom screen I can see. Andrew, welcome in with Wayne. Appreciate you guys. Cannabis Podcast in Tom's Army 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Marcus also in Tom's Army 2nd month from Ozark, Missouri. So we got Marcus from Ozark, Missouri. And don't forget to give a prayer for Mighty Marcus as he continues to fight the good fight with Bearded Viking. We continue to acknowledge and pray for them. Amen. So we have Lori. I'm hopeful, MQ. I'm hopeful. Usually, you're right. It usually is choppy. The other thing that makes me a little nervous with XRP is that one of the focal points I made for this run up was that, hey, at least we know we can run up to the daily 200 day, and XRP actually got rejected on the daily 200, and it's below the pattern formation it broke out of to get to the daily 200 and the 4-hourly right now. At least the early movement of it in the last 2 4-hour candles are not exactly looking too promising. And the 4-hour sell volume has outweighed the 4-hour buy volume in the last candle, which again is causing concern. But at the same time, we haven't officially broken down. Now Ethereum is interesting because Ethereum made that early movement, and now it could be trying to validate a little bit more movement up if it doesn't, unless it built a head and shoulders here and it's just building a right shoulder. And if that's the case, it probably won't come back up above 3,130. So there's a lot of micro nonsense going on here in the charts. Oh, there's so much stuff. So much stuff. What did that say? My 50x $100 gamble is still open. Stop loss at break even. The lowest we went was $2.06. Indeed, it was. Oh, the Ripple betrayal I post on Facebook. That's just the fact that, just like with Brad Garlinghouse and all of them, that they basically, for this chapter, after we had this run up, after we had that $40 billion valuation, that they basically let it be known or seem like we had no choice but to have this parabolic movement. But in reality, we had to have this pullback after it moved to all-time highs, and it was quite convenient they got that valuation as we pushed up. So the maximum trap would have been in for retail investors. So they just used us as exit liquidity, not saying that it's not going to go higher than it was. But for the moment, we're funding all of this, everything that's happening. You know, we're funding it. And we're so volatile that, you know, we're so volatile that we like that kind of stuff as a people. So that's all that means. But if it breaks down, that would put us at, and that's why I keep saying I'm rooting for the fact that I want it to get over 210, and then I want it to get over 212, and I want this movement to start playing in our favor. But we've at least got to get over 209.25, which it's not a lot to ask. Aren't we at like 208.89 or 208.9? It's not like I'm asking for a lot. All I'm asking in this live is to get over 209.25. That's it. That's all we have to try to do. I mean, that's the first thing we have to try to do. And then obviously we have to work our way out. But the descending triangle target, let's see what it actually is. If we were to fall out, and this actually played out in the, oh man, kind of thing. We already know the bear flag if it plays out. That bear flag easily gets us, you know, it'll get us down to that CME from last Friday. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before at $1.997. Thoughts on this W theory? Well, if it's a W playing out on the top, and this is the thing, we can come all the way down and fill out all of these targets and it would still be valid, and then it can rotate back out. I like that question. That would almost be the fact that we would be on a stationary support after we, well, it depends how you look at it, but it would basically be, you know, the chart we show when it's like that all-time broadening wedge, or how we keep talking about how it's a bullish megaphone. That theory would involve that when it rotates back up, it creates a big W up here. When you look at it from a weekly, big pull, dip, up, back down, and then it ends up volatilely breaking out, and then it ends up actually being a big W. But that would be if the bullish megaphone stays intact. No, you're not going crazy. You are not going crazy, and that megaphone is what I still have faith or hope that until that breaks down, that we're actually within still some kind of bullish movement here. It's just we need some kind of validation, because right now where we're at, you know, it would be an opportune moment for them to take out the longs. There's a lot of people taking long leverage. It could be an opportunity to take out the longs just by coming down and filling out the back test of the falling wedge. That's a theory too. That it only goes down to $1.80 and then it comes right back up. Or it goes down to $1.57 if it finishes the, you know, we haven't even talked about this so far. What about if this is an ABC correction? You had A, and now we're basically, if we get rejected, the B's got to drop. And B's going to drop us. It's either going to drop us to $1.89, looking fit, really. You can tell that sometimes, you know, it's kind of deceiving because the more muscle you put on, the wider. And I was a fat man when I was younger. When I was in my high school years, I was 265 pounds. When I started on YouTube, I was probably 200 with no muscle. I can definitely see the difference when I look at myself on YouTube now versus then. Or on TikTok when I would do those videos. But thank you. Looking fit. Honestly, I'm 42 now. I turned it last month, and I've never actually had this much muscle, so I'm not exactly sure what to think. I'm just a very dedicated person, so I just do the same thing. Today, I had to force myself to take a day off, but I've already taken 4,000 steps. I know I wanted everybody to be able to see the birdies and the squirrels, too, and they're eating right here, but it's so damn sunny out there. I don't know how to fix this. What if I go closer? Because the tree's gone. What if I go closer? Is it going to make it worse? Nah, that doesn't make it better at all, does it? Jesus Lord. I think I just made it worse. What if I turn it? No. I think we're pretty screwed here today. Or you can look at the, this is a pickery son of a gun, but he's a lime tree. Grew him from a baby, but I had to bring him inside. Look how big he is. He's not a baby anymore. And then this is a lemon tree. Had to grow him, but the squirrels kind of destroyed my little man. But now it grew a lot. I got it to grow a lot. Hey, we had a little bit of good light. What happened there? What did somebody say? Bro, what the fuck you got ripped? I remember back in 2022 you were bigger, good shape. Oh, yes, I was. That's for sure. I'll take it. Who said that? I hustle harder than you. Thank you. But the cool thing is you guys only know. You guys can only see my face, so you can't see what I do with the rest. So, yeah, it was the angle that made it work better. Let's see if we can find that angle again. And look, it looks like somebody's like... It's those ghosts on there. The ghosts are actually sticking out, which is kind of funny in all the fog. That's so funny. Yeah, I turned 42 on December 17th, Crypto Plumber. And unfortunately, I can honestly say I'm in the best shape of my life, and it's not even close. You know, and I feel pretty damn good. Keep your Michigan cap on. Oh, you mean, that cap. I didn't even notice because the I agree. I don't even know what my chin and face looks like. But look, the other thing is like when I do this, it throws people off too, which I like. So it's been this long since I cut my hair, you know. I'm like David Schwartz Incorporated. So then when I do that, when I take pictures, it makes me look even smaller when I have my hair like this. I don't know why. It like everything gets smaller once I pull my hair out. There we go. You know, I'm just giving thanks to my Lord and Savior, Emmanuel, Yahweh, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. So, but hey, 30 people holding out on the like button like it cost. I know. It would be kind of cool if YouTube allowed us to put pictures. I think they hold out onto it because of all the spam and stuff. David Schwartz is a massive person. Well, I mean, I haven't seen him in person, but I see him on the when I see him doing interviews and stuff, when you see him standing by people and just the size he is, he's a big dude. He amasses the area he's in. Like others, the others is something that I found interesting as we were going across. Others, as the morning started, when I was in church, I noticed it had worked its way up pretty decently. And it still hasn't given that back yet. But it had worked itself up to 219.1 billion. It's since given a little back to 217.8. And it slowly seems like it's eking itself down a little bit. But I think a lot of that was tied into the Ethereum movement, if I got to be honest. So... Oh, I'm Sasquatch, all right. Oh, I'm Sasquatch. You haven't seen nothing like Sasquatch indeed. It's a hairy situation you got to deal with here, I'll tell you what. Let's see. That's probably why I'm good in crypto. It's like in, what was it? One of the Ace Ventura moves, hairy like animal. You know. Oh, wait a minute. Or, Austin Powers, actually. The USDT dominance is at 6.08. That gives me a little cause for concern. Because I know it looks like a... To me, I know it's got a death cross in the 4-hourly, but that looks like more of a fake out to me, as it's got a nice V-shaped recovery. It's built a nice shoulder. It looks like a flag is forming. Like almost like an ascending wedge, which would be a bullish continuation. And if that's the case, does anybody else see this? That would put us back towards 6.3 cents for the USD dominance. Hey, thank you for the happy belated birthday. Unless you're talking to the person in the audience who also had a birthday in December. Happy belated birthday to you, my friend. But yeah. I kind of like my hair being down now. It's past that awkward phase. I had to put it in like the pony because it was in such an awkward phase. I kind of like this phase. Especially being 42 and having hair. I just wasn't sure because my dad, you know, his hair struggles. Like here and nothing here. Oh, I would have grays like David. I've been using like, ever since, well, even when I didn't have to, I'd always put stuff in my hair as like a healer and stuff, but it would darken my hair. And I had dark black hair like this, but now it's probably 60% or 50% gray. I'm an older man now. But I use, I don't use hair dye, but what I use is a shampoo, and it takes out of the earth just natural black, like it gets it from like the walnuts and stuff or other things. But it doesn't have anything in it. It's all chemical free and all that. And it naturally, you can get certain ones if you want your hair black, brown. There's only certain colors you can do it like this. But fortunately with my hair, that's the exact color of my hair that I was born with. So nobody is any wiser when I do it. And all I literally do, I just wash it with shampoo like once every couple of weeks. And then it keeps the darkness. So it actually works very well. Yeah, Monero to me is the best privacy token. Everybody talked about ZEC and all that crap. But I think I blew it on XMR. I used to talk about it when it was at $130, $125, even in this year. I blew it with that one. There's no doubt about it. That'll be one that I live to regret. I was too focused on miners earlier in the year. I also auto new looks good. I just went back to the Marines. Mid fade cut. Hold on. Mid fade cut. Mid fade cut just had a baby boy with my new wife, and he kept pulling the F out of my beard and hair. I said, F this, and cut it all off. Oh, I know how that feels. Congratulations on you. You better be safe, though. You better be safe, my friend. Yeah, and bless you to your wife and your new baby as well. And I definitely know the struggle of the pulling of the beard, believe me. Well, I believe also with hair, and I don't know if it's any correlation to the fact that I actually have this kind of hair, and my brother, his is doing like my dad, and but mine's doing the opposite. And my mom's dad, if you want to go by him, he's got no hair on the top and it's a ring. But I've always used for years. No, don't look, Furby. Don't look at XMR. It's going to piss you off. If you haven't looked at it like me since $100 and something, and then you all of a sudden looked at it because of the privacy token thing, and then you see it's at 503, yeah. We missed the boat on that guy, and it's up 6.5% today again. So that also gives me hope that maybe the market is going to move in the up direction. There's subtle hopes. I have subtle hope. I haven't given up completely that we can move up. But I use I've always used biotin as a liquid. There's biotin, which I have to refill on because I'm out. But I like biotin and plus keratin, K2. I believe that that's the combination that regrows hair. I had male pattern goatee baldness, literally. I had no hair right here when Julie met me. It was like this whole part was gone. And it was just gone. And I equated it to because for a couple times I used this just for men hair stuff, and it's horrible for you. That was before I was wise enough to start reading stupid stuff. And I swear my whole beard was gone right here. And I just started taking certain things. And that combinations, same combination, biotin plus K2. I hustle harder than you. I use the same one. Shit works. I'm 35 still full hair. Are you talking about what I said? Are you talking about what I said? I hustle harder than you with the biotin and stuff. Yep. Okay. See, and I swear that's got to be it. That's got to be the secret ingredient. You know, I don't know. It's got to be something. Yeah, mine it's a liquid drop. It's I gotta order it, so I might as well just do it now while I'm on the air. Because I noticed I was out of it, and I'm like, oh my god, my hair secret's gone. But I used to buy them separate. But you need to do, I believe it's 10,000 mcgs of biotin is the recommended when I used to look at it. I believe you have to have at least 10,000 mcgs of biotin to get that effect, but I believe it's a double compound effect. I believe when you combine it with keratin, the K2, vitamin K2, is how it actually activates it. Now, I have a theory too that which one is it? L-thiacine or thysine, or one of them. Oh yeah, my nails definitely grow like freaking crazy. It's a benefit or a disadvantage, some will call it, but I don't look at it as a disadvantage. I would rather have nice strong nails. But like the one that I take for my K2 for the keratin now is the and you want to get 170 mcgs, okay? Just and I am not a health professional, so take it for a grain of salt. But I like to do it's the MCT oil. So it's got vitamin D3, K2, and omega-3 MCT oil. It's my favorite. That's my favorite one for that. And then with the biotin, and I've got a couple of things that you can use biotin mixed with other things, but I personally like my biotin on its own as of late. I like to keep it on its own, even though you can mix it, because it comes in like, you can see it better. If you have drops, it's like white. And if you get the whiter drops, I've noticed that they're, I don't know, it's just my own philosophy. You can either get the white ones to me work better. And they're only like, I don't know, $18 maybe. It's not bad. But to me, that's the dark secret. And then if any of you like hot chocolate, I know that I sound like an asshole right now. But if anybody likes hot chocolate, Stevens. Look for Stevens. It's got only the cocoa in it, and there's not much of an ingredient list on it at all. Normal cocoa and stuff has it. I went through for years and looked at its list. And, there's some, as far as for this, it's really good. Obviously, you're still eating cocoa, but Julie likes hot cocoa, and so do I. I don't drink energy drinks. In my past, over a decade ago, maybe longer, I would drink them sometimes when I was burying cable lines. But the most I do now is my whole thing is I use from Clean Nutra. It's called a pre-workout stick, but it's got the only ingredients in it. It's got the so basically, it's got like taurine, citrulline, L-tyrosine, L-carotene, arginine. That's the one, arginine, I believe. It's also got a little bit of creatine, beta-alanine, and then it's got 100 milligrams of caffeine. So every day, I never used to take caffeine, but I realized like your body needs caffeine as well to help repair your muscles. It also helps you with your natural store of energy, and it just you don't want to do a lot. Some say 300 to 400 milligrams. I can't do that. I only do 100. Yeah, so that's what I take. But it's basically your when you're going through it, it's your essential amino acid list, you know. So, but yeah, there's so much stuff. Like there's also one that's good if you like. I know somebody talked about it for your like blood pressure and stuff like that. I don't know who talked about it. I think it was MQ, but so you know, like for your glucose stuff. Actually, not your glucose. You need it for blood, for your blood pressure. Here, let me pull this one up. And they're like BP drops. Like the person who made them it's excellent. I use them, and I have a lot of faith because of how my body reacted to them. And I don't have high blood pressure, but it was the way it made me feel. And you tell me if maybe some of this ingredient list is probably the reason why. So let's see. So it's made with cayenne pepper, oat straw tops, motherwort herb, cardamom pod, celery seed, hawthorn leaf, and flour. That's the ingredient list. And then it's mixed together with like distilled water and stuff, but 300 milligrams of caffeine and aminos. Yeah, make sure you guys take your amino acids. They help more than people would know. But yeah, the list of it, it works pretty damn well. There's also another one if you don't want to go down that route that I actually have tried both ways, and I need to get one for just again you want to make sure, because if your blood pressure will start making your arteries clogged, it's just a whole big thing. That's why the cayenne, cinnamon, and peppers and. So this other one, and you tell me which list you sounds better. This one has cayenne pepper, hawthorn, beetroot, turmeric, vitamin K2 plus D3. And this one, so there's two different ways to look at it, but because I get the vitamin D3 and K2 through something else, I tried to get a stronger focus on just the blood pressure side of it and not focus on anything else. If that makes sense. Whether I'm right or wrong, that's up for debate. But that's just, there's also one other one that you can use, and I've tried this one too. It goes a little bit slightly off of the basic narrative, but it's another blood pressure support one. It's just, slightly different stuff. There's slightly different stuff. It just depends what your need is. That's a good thing. Yeah, red meat's really good for this stuff too. I know they tell you otherwise, but that's just marketing is a bitch. That's all I'll say. But yeah, I mean I know we talk more life stuff. Anything else people want to talk about? Because I can go too, because it's getting a little later here. Sunday. Got stuff to do. As always. Not a bad thing though. It's not a bad thing to stay busy. It's not a bad thing to try to take care of yourself too. Because we only get one vessel. We only get one vessel. And I really like this one. If you ever look for stuff like this, like it's Secrets of the Tribe. So they use all the Secrets of the Tribe. They're all black pepper. I like black seed oil too. The flakes of black seed oil. It's like black, well, it's not oil, but it's black seed. That's what I use as my pepper. It's a superfood. It's a superfood. I love all of this. I love everybody's suggestions. I like looking up all this stuff too. Like I'm fascinated with all of this kind of stuff. Always have been. Always have been. I've always been fascinated with the health stuff. Especially when I was in high school, when I was I used to read books and stuff like how to. It must have sunk in. I mean, things that obviously sunk in. I learned. You know, all you can do is judge yourself based on your future self, what your past self actually got across. Unfortunately, you know, when my past self said, hey, you got to do this, you got to take this seriously, I listened. Tommy should make a Telegram channel sharing all of this stuff, possibly with links to buy as well. I definitely could. I could share a link thing. I could put it in my YouTube description as well at the bottom, and then put it in the Telegram. I could definitely put that together. That's not hard because Amazon has little links you can share. I'm not in their program or anything, so I don't know who it goes to, but I can still share the links. Then maybe we could start to combine things, and then maybe we could add to that list. You guys could give me names, and I could start growing that list, so we could have like a community-wide thing that we look at, which would be kind of cool. Can I just say one thing before we leave? If we go up from here, please get confirmation, and don't just trap yourself. Don't just buy something because you're like, oh. The other thing is, yes, the CMOS and all that. I have all of that. Believe it or not. I mean, but just don't get yourself trapped, okay? If you're buying something, it's not to be a trader. If you legitimately buy something here, it's because you're going to sit and you're going to wait and you're going to let it play. But like, I have my Moringa and I have my L-thiazine and all this crap, L-theanine. But the one that I really like too, there's a couple of them. One of them is for the eyes. And I like Clean Nutra. I like their stuff. Hey, look, we can see outside now. Look what happened behind us. Oh, never mind. What happened? So it let us see and then it didn't? Must have got like the cloud going over. But the one for the eyes is the bilberry, lycopene, lutein, zeaxanthin, and astaxanthin. Those are like oh man. Yeah, shorting the market I don't have as much of a problem with. I know it sounds crazy, but until we break out, we're more likely to go down in a bear market. But you still have to be careful. And then the other one, like for muscle recovery and stuff, it's a liquid drop, but it's got NAD+, it's got nicotinamide, it's got taurine, fisetin, and resveratrol, but it's yeah, I don't know, I can't really say all of the stuff. I just know of the stuff because I looked for ancient herbs and stuff for years. So each of these ones are very defined to my needs. Very defined, like for the prostate, for the guy, you know, you want to take saw palmetto extract. FYI for any of the guys out there. Where was the one with the CMOS? I wanted to, and then I like have vitamin C. I also like chlorophyll I take. I love chlorophyll. Love chlorophyll. One of my favorite things. I know it's plant blood, but I'm like a vampire. I can't get enough of it. Give me that chlorophyll, baby. And then I'm a very big fan of, well, there's a lot of things, actually. Like, I like the CMOS a lot. And ashwagandha. Like, I have a thing with the ashwagandha, CMOS. And I like drops. I'm a big fan of the drops. But with the drops, it has CMOS, black seed oil, ashwagandha, burdock root, and bladderwrack. Good for the gut and or a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, shorting or long, you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Today, as of right now, I think we completed wave 4 and possibly wave 1 of 5 inside of microwave 5. I love looking up natural healing. I think I can beat cancer, not afraid anymore. Amen. We pray for you, Elmer. See, we need. I almost want to start another channel for just the healing side of things. I've wanted to do it for years on YouTube. I wanted to do it for years, and I could just make videos, and who cares if 50 people see it or 20 people? I could still share it in here and be like, go look at that channel so I don't get banned on this one. And I think we could share a lot, Elmer. I think we could come up and we could share natural healings. We could talk about different things like fenbenzol and different things of what they talk about with just a lot of different things, whether they work or not, and just get into the more of the natural side that I can't really talk about here because I'm afraid to get banned. But if I had a channel dedicated around it, maybe, maybe. Yep, I agree, MQ, until it shows me something different. The only thing with personal trainers, which is ironic, and I used to be a personal trainer, so I can actually speak on it. I was certified through the World Instructor Training Schools and through ACE, which was the American Council of Exercise. And then the North American, what the hell was it? It was North American Exercise of Count, some crap like that. I was triple certified and all that crap. I would definitely, if I dedicated to this, all the content would probably start from what I put in the Telegram. Just like the XRP 60-second short started because of a TikTok idea, and then evolved into the, YouTube. I think stuff like that. I would do something like that, and I'm thinking about that in the Telegram to start out with, because we could share a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff. I have so much interest in this, and I have so much knowledge that I feel like I've gotten the calling from the Lord that I need to talk about this too, on top of just crypto. I have so much I could talk about, but the crypto needs to stay in its own thing. But the personal trainers, for some reason, they always want you to take this pre-workout stuff. And notice all the stuff that they'll tell you to take, or the protein, they tell you whey protein, which is fine, but they never break it down. They just tell you a general whey protein, like go to Gold's Gym, whey protein, or go to this guy's. But it's all got sucralose and all this other shit in it that you don't want, and it's not even isolate. So there's no reason to take a protein unless it's not an isolate. And there's no reason to take a protein unless it's, I don't want a protein with carbs. So my protein has no carbs in it. It's protein. I don't want 30 grams of fucking carbs in my protein. I want to I want to get my carbs from somewhere else. I want to enjoy carbs with other foods. So I need carbs for building muscle, but damn it, I'd rather eat the carbs instead of drink the carbs in my protein drink. So my protein is unflavored, there's the only ingredients is the whey protein isolate. I think that's it. There's one or two things in it. There might be two total ingredients. Good health can go hand in hand with good discipline training. Absolutely. But yeah, don't be surprised if I actually do start a side channel on YouTube. I've been thinking about it for years just for that information, and it would never affect any of this stuff. It's just stuff that I like to do. And it would just be posted on there. And then if it ever got big enough, we could have live discussions on YouTube. But who knows if it would ever get big enough. But that's definitely a calling that I definitely have. I have a lot of knowledge with this stuff. Because of my parents' health struggles, I've tried to approach life in a different way. So. But yeah, with that being said, I need to go touch base with Julie. I need to go make sure my son's doing good. Somebody asked before I leave about the breakdown. Yeah, Omegas are great. Sardines. I seen you said that. Sardines is a great suggestion. Who said that? Elmer. That's a great suggestion. And yeah, I hustle harder than you. The sugars are fucking ridiculous. I'll show you what I use. It's an IsoPure. When I make my protein, literally, this is IsoPure. See this? 25 grams of protein per serving, 100% whey protein isolate, 0 carb protein, unflavored, no added flavor. So the ingredient list consists of whey protein isolate and then soy lecithin, which a lot of people are like, oh, you don't want that sunflower soy lecithin. I disagree, it's for the brain. Does anybody know about soy lecithin? Honestly, those are the two ingredients. So that's why I like this one. And then I mix it with a scoop of this, which is the collagen peptides, and this is my favorite one. And this is filled with your typical amino acids. And this has, the only ingredients are hydroxylide bovine collagen peptides. That's the only ingredient. It's got 10 grams of protein per serving, 55 milligrams of sodium, and then the hydrogen bovine collagen peptide. But it's got alanine, arginine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, glycine, histidine, hydroxylene, hydroxyproline, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, proline, serine, threonine, tyrosine, and valine. But that's that. So that gives me 35 grams of protein with my protein drink, and then I live on this. This is the shit. Right here is the shit. This is the secret weapon. I eat the powder, or I'll make like little peanut butter stuff, but it's literally, you can do 2 tablespoons, which is 6 teaspoons, and I mix, I don't know, 100, 120 calories worth into my drink, but it's got, and there's a little bit of sugar, but the only ingredient in it is roasted peanuts, coconut sugar, so the sugar's from a coconut, and a little bit of salt. Not a crazy amount of salt. 95 milligrams of sodium per serving. But you get 8 grams of protein, 2 grams of dietary fiber, 3 grams of sugars, but it's coconut sugar. And you got 6 grams of carbs. And like I said, you need carbs somewhere. So I will take carbs from this, but I can knock this. And this is such good protein. Instead of peanut butter, I never eat peanut butter. I haven't in a long time now. I eat this. This is my particular go-to one. Because it's got more protein. 8 grams instead of 6 per serving. And I noticed, once I went to the protein approach, like it's like you start to look at yourself and you're like, you can't argue with results. And, you know, I never thought, like, I'd be where I'm at. But anyhow, I got to go. Thank you all so much. We'll continue this discussion later, but I do have to go. Have a blessed day.